Welcome to the Horses and Holy Moments podcast.
Hi, Ingela.
Hi, Corey.
Here we are again. So exciting. We are doing great. We are enjoying doing these podcasts. It's so much fun. We're so glad you're joining us as always. Ingela, you have a story about a world champion Arabian stallion that I believe could not swim or had trouble swimming.
Yeah, actually, he refused to swim.
Refused to
He
swim.
refused to swim.
Can you tell us where that was?
Yes, this was in the UAE. I flew to Dubai and there were several horses for me to help in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi.
And how did that come about?
Now, that's an interesting story. I was minding my own business in England in a little village called Bridgenorth.
Okay.
And I was farming there. We had sheep, we had cattle. I, of course, had horses that were in training. And I went to a church that was about 20 minutes away in Dudley,
Okay.
called Revival Fires.
All right.
And one day there was a conference and I got a prophetic word from the conference speaker. And he said that I will be in the palace of the sheikhs in the
Wow.
Middle East.
Wow.
And, well, I received it, I believed it, and I chose to activate this prophetic word.
How did you activate it?
Well, because at that time, I did not know anybody in the Middle East. I decided to reroute my flights
Okay.
through Dubai.
Wow.
At that time, I was involved in the Horses for Orphans project in Mozambique. So when I flew from England to Mozambique, I often took a flight that went through Dubai.
Okay.
So that was my activation because I didn't know what else to do. So I always made sure I had a few hours of layover. So I would just walk around the airport praying, saying, Lord, show me, connect me.
That is amazing.
What do we need to do? Where do I need to be? And nothing happened. This went on for quite a few flights.
Wow.
I did a second thing to activate. I told my staff and my volunteers that any call we get from the Middle East, our answer is yes.
Okay.
And they said, well, but normally we need at least 6 students, better 10, and we only go if we make this much money. I said, yes, normally, except in this case. In this case, we are going to say yes, no matter what it is or who it is. It can be a child with a 3-legged donkey that wants help and cannot pay us. Our answer is yes.
Wow. You just really trusted that the Lord had something for you there.
Yes, I believe the prophetic word. I believe that that's what the Lord had for me, and I was very excited. I just
great.
didn't know how He brings it about.
Yes, yes.
So nobody called from the Middle East. Actually, I think I took a map and I marked all the countries in the Middle East that are in that category, and I said, this is a yes. Any call from any email from these areas,
Yes.
we're going. Okay, even if we have to pay for the flight ourselves.
Wow.
So one day, one of my girls said that somebody wants me to come and teach a course in Scotland.
Okay.
But there is not enough people to come to take part in a class. So it wasn't 6. Maybe it was 4, but it wasn't enough to drive 2 horses, 15 hours, pay for the fuel, pay for the hotel, run the class, run the sound system, and then drive all the way back. Not worth it.
Yeah, not worth it at all. That doesn't sound like it was worth it. So what did you do then?
Well, she said to me, I really feel you should go do that.
Okay.
And this girl was not a Christian. But she said, I really feel you're meant to go.
Wow.
So I said, okay, let's go.
Another leap of faith.
Another leap of faith. So I took the 2 horses. I went to Scotland. I taught there. And there was a spectator there.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady was from the Middle East. She lived in Dubai.
Really?
She's an American that lived in Dubai. So she really liked the class. And afterwards she said, hey, would you be willing to come and do a course in Dubai? I said, yes, I would love to. Can you believe it?
Isn't that amazing how God worked through that? And not what you expected, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then something else happens.
Uh-huh.
Before I actually went to do the course, she had that problem with a horse that was in her yard.
Okay.
There were maybe also 20 horses stabled in one of the buildings where she had her business. And she asked me if I could come and help that horse at some point when I'm traveling back and forth from Africa.
Okay.
So I remember arriving in Dubai at 11 o'clock p.m. They picked me up. I was at the stables at 12 and my flight was going in the morning. So I had to leave at 5 a.m. and at 6 I needed to be at the airport. So I said, I have the night. I have these 5 hours. If I can fix it, I'm happy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I arrived at the stables and the problem was it was an aggressive Arabian. I think he was a stallion. An aggressive meaning he bit the grooms.
Uh-huh.
He bit people that walked by and the grooms were so afraid of him because they needed to muck him out, hang up hay nets,
Yes.
put water buckets, all of that kind of stuff. And
Yes.
it's really not nice if the horse attacks you.
Yeah, that's terrible. We don't like that.
No. So I took the horse and there was really nowhere to go because it's night. So I did all my communication with him in the alleyway between the stables.
Wow.
And I communicated with him and worked with him for 5 hours. And by 5 a.m. in the morning or a little bit before, I involved the grooms and everything was good. It worked out really well. The horse was no longer aggressive. I was able to not only help the horse, but also help the grooms how to act with the horse and how to avoid any future problems.
Wow.
So I took the airplane and left.
Okay.
And a little while later, I went back there now to teach the first course.
Okay.
And I didn't know who is going to be in that course.
Got it.
So I just showed up and I started teaching. And it was at the same year, actually the same day or week that a famous racehorse called Electrico won a big race in Dubai. And a reporter came, I would say, still in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I actually was going to cover the story of Electrico, but I heard that you are here and it's quite rare to have a natural horseman here. So I wanted to do a story with you for the national TV. And he said, can you do the interview? I said, yeah, at like 5 o'clock or whenever I'm finished with my class. And he says, no, I can only do it like right now. I can do it only right now because that's the slot. And I said, I would have loved to, but I am so sorry. I am teaching. And he kind of implied that that's not important.
And you replied?
And I replied, no, these people are very important to me.
Yes.
They're my students.
Yes.
They want to learn about horses. I've got a commitment
Yeah.
to them. And it's more important to me to help them.
Yeah.
It's what, they paid for the class. This is, to me, unacceptable to
Yes.
just say, oh, I prefer to be on TV. Sorry, guys, you have to wait. No.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it was amazing because I just apologized and I said, at another time, I would love to, but I cannot now. I turned my microphone back on and I continued teaching. what I didn't know is that one of the sheikhs had sent one of his managers from the stables to my class to learn.
Okay.
Because that horse that I helped belonged to one of the sheikhs.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't know that.
Right.
I didn't know whose horse it is, right? Well, and I think he liked that.
He liked what happened.
He liked what happened. He liked, I guess, that I put the students first.
Yeah.
And by lunchtime, I had an invitation to the sheikh's palace.
Wow.
I got to go for lunch. So it was wonderful. I was driven around in a golf cart. I got to see the palace. Amazing.
Oh.
So beautiful. Beautiful architecture. Just fantastic. And talk,
Yeah.
to one of the sheikhs. And for me, it was amazing because right here, we have a holy moment.
Yay. What was the
prophetic
holy
word.
moment? Well,
Right.
yes, of course, the prophetic word.
A prophetic word from way back
Yes.
coming into reality.
Yes. Yes, yes.
So there you had a man that heard the voice of God. And I received it, believed it, activated it, and then it came to pass.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes. And so many little things needed to be in place for it to happen.
Yeah, and that you would go all the way to England or Scotland. It was Scotland, right? Where you
I taught there often.
And then it just circled all the way around.
I know.
But you had great faith. I mean, yeah, it's amazing that you didn't waver and you prayed about it.
It was because, with those kind of things, it's not the same as when you're sick and you're trying to believe for healing.
Yeah.
Or financial crisis.
Yes.
It wasn't something that was painful to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that was exciting, that God is offering me an adventure.
Yes.
So that's, for me personally, much, much easier
to believe for.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, through this, doors started to open for me to work with horses of different people and also with different sheikhs.
Wow. So that is how you met this champion Arabian stallion?
Exactly. It was January 2008, and Sheikh Amar bin Humaid Al Nuaimi, Crown Prince of Ajman, had actually a problem with two of his horses.
Okay.
They were stallions. One was called Escape Ibn Navaron, and the other one Natsira Pal.
Wow. That's incredible.
So Escape was this world championship stallion, Arab stallion, that was worth in excess of $5 million.
Oh my goodness.
And both these stallions had a little issue with swimming.
Okay. And they wanted them to swim? I guess they did, but that's not an everyday request, really.
There it is, because you have to imagine it's in the desert.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Sand everywhere. Deep sand. Not good for the tendons of the horse. Sometimes it's 50 degrees Celsius by 9 a.m.
Wow.
It is hot. The sun is relentless. The sand is deep. How do you get a horse fit? How do you train a horse? So swimming is a great way. No pressure. Yeah. No pressure on the joints or the legs. It's cool. The water is cooling them and they get strong and they get fit, right?
Yes. That's awesome. Yeah, that does make sense. So what then?
What then? Okay, so let me just tell you about one of them. I'll tell you about Escape.
Okay.
The staff was not able to even bring Escape in through the big doors. So the swimming lane was in an enclosed fence with non-see-through walls, tall fence. And if they opened those two double gates, they were not able to ask the horse to walk in through the gates because right inside then is the swimming lane. Had a little slope for the horse to walk down on a rubber mat, and then it would need to swim all the way to the end and walk out and then do the same thing again.
Okay.
And he refused to walk in through the doors. And not just that, not only did he rear, he was aggressive.
Okay.
So he was biting, he was striking, and that is really difficult for those grooms.
Mm. Yeah, I can I only imagine. That's tough for them.
So I spent an afternoon with both of them, and at the end of that afternoon, both of them swam.
Wow. So cool. What did you do? Like what?
Okay.
What'd you do?
So with Escape, I met him first outside the stables. He was tense, he was nervous, he was uptight. So I took him from that area outside the stables down the hill a little bit, and there they had a round pen, a large round pen. And then there I started to communicate with him.
Okay.
And he, right from the beginning, showed aggression.
Mm.
Now, that wasn't fear aggression. It was really felt dominant.
Okay.
Pushing on me and also trying to attack.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not a good feeling.
Not a good feeling. And he was so agile in his body, he was able to stand up on his hind legs. And then he would try to strike down with one front foot onto my head or my shoulder. And I would just kind of move out of the way without actually giving up space, without walking backward. I just moved my shoulder and chest away and right back in. And I tried to block him while he stayed up there. So he stayed up and just moved one leg down a few times before he lost his balance and would come down.
Wow.
I basically established myself there as the lead and as higher ranking than him. And well, then he relaxed, he became calm, he shook his mane, he lowered his head, he licked his lips, and it was all good.
Wow.
And then I made sure we had good communication for forward, backward, hindquarter yield, front end yield, sideways. And then I took him up to the pool. And in the meantime, the sheikhs and some other people had taken some seats higher up. They could sit down to the swimming lane. And I came in with him and we took just a little time by the water.
Okay.
Because it's very important to allow the horse to process, not push. When we start to push, if the horse is on high alert and is not sure, he's going to say no.
Right.
So I took him to the water. The moment he stopped and looked at it, I took him away.
And most people, do you think, do tend to push? I mean, like a horse like that's...
Yes.
And that just sort of makes it worse.
Most people, I think, me included in the past, if a horse wouldn't want to go into a swimming lane, into a trailer, across a stream, I would go with the horse to the place or to the show jump, whatever it is, to the ditch, stand there.
Yeah.
Then I would ask him to go forward. If he would spread his legs, lower his nose, sniff at it, and kind of rock back, I would let him do that.
Okay.
If he would back up, I would definitely block him on the rope and ask him to come forward again.
Okay.
I would let him stand still. Then I would ask him to go forward.
Okay.
And if he would pull back, I would block again on the rope and with the stick on his hindquarters or behind his hindquarters until he stood there.
Okay.
And I would ask for forward. Or I would ask him backward, and immediately when I asked him backward, immediately forward. Using that reverse psychology principle, I don't use that anymore.
Okay.
But I would have in the past, asking the horse to go backward, and the moment he's gone backward, immediately send him forward and let him rest.
Got it.
The principle works because we're creating a discomfort away from the ditch, away from the water, away from the trailer, and comfort as the horse goes to the ditch, the water, or the trailer.
Yes, okay.
But I really don't like this principle.
Okay.
Because I want my horse to choose me as the lead, his very best friend, trust me that I make good decisions, trust me that I'm doing this for his best. Not put pressure. Every horse moves away from pressure.
Yes.
So I don't want to put pressure for back there and rest by the trailer or the water, even though the horse will choose the water, it's not a good feeling for him.
Yeah.
I want him to follow my thought and energy and trust me that I have a good decision, a good idea. And because of that, get in the trailer. Because of that, jump the ditch. I want him to be sure in my decisions.
Yes.
The reverse psychology does work.
Yeah.
Then you're kind of making it the horse's choice to go jump purely because you're making it more uncomfortable somewhere else.
Right.
But I would like the horse to be comfortable everywhere I put him.
Yeah.
So a much better principle is what we talk about in trailer loading, in true connection. We go forward until the horse shows a stress signal.
Yeah.
The eyes come up, the head come up, right? Or the eyes open, the head comes up, the ears come forward. Stop.
Yeah.
Let the horse stop. Let him process.
Yes.
If he relaxes, keep going forward.
That's great.
If he doesn't relax, take him away.
Yeah.
You take him away. You're a good lead. You have a better idea. You checked it out. Let's go.
I love that.
And then when you come again and you do that 2 or 3 times, the horse trusts you more.
Yeah,
because you're not
so good.
Yeah, you're not pushing, you're not putting any pressure for him to go in. You're actually saying, as you're concerned, let me show you a better place.
Yeah.
Then the horse starts to believe our ideas, trust us more, and all of a sudden get curious.
Yeah.
Remember when we talked about the autonomic nervous system, if the sympathetic gets more activated, the horse can't be curious. He's analyzing, he's in flight and fight mode. So only when he can downregulate to rest, digest mode, the parasympathetic, then you also can get curious. So this is important.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for just going back with that. And yeah, that's helpful to just hear again.
Mm-hmm. So when you come to something like a water lane, and the horse is afraid, it's really good to just wait.
Okay, wait.
And when he licks his lips, he has processed. Great. Take him away. Go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Then come back. Do that a few times. And after we've done that a few times, then we can ask him to take a step forward.
Yeah.
So Escape did that too, and he puts one foot in and he's like, wah! And he pulls the foot back out and he goes backward and let him. I then don't put pressure on when the horse has gone back.
Okay. Got it. So then getting back to the story, what happened then?
I don't think it took very long. Now, there was, I didn't know so much about stress signals yet.
Yeah.
I didn't have the same amount of timing as I developed later.
Yeah.
So there was more, I would say took me longer than it needed to.
Yes.
He pulled back quite a few times. He was afraid of the water. And then eventually he stood in it. And then eventually, once he stood in it and he felt the water, he was fine. And then he went in and I helped him go down the slope and then swim all the way across.
Wow.
We did that a few times. And then I also knew I needed to get him good enough that the staff can do it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I went outside, I came back in and I had him go ahead of me.
Okay.
Into the water. And then I followed him, and as he swam across, I held onto his tail and I swam too.
Wow.
And I let him pull me. It was a nice cool down in this really hot weather. Yeah. And then he swam all the way to the end. And then the following day, I practiced with the staff. And from then on, all the staff were easily able to have him swim. There were no more problems.
Oh, that's so neat. Oh my goodness, Ingela, thank you. That story was awesome. We love holy moments, right? It's a great prophetic word that came to pass. We want to bless each one of you this week, at the next 2 weeks, and bless your horses. And we will see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the Horses and Holy Moments podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode.